Hello and welcome to another ranked game here between Maverick and BlackDeath. It's a recent Forge Last Forever. Once again we got Cybran versus UEF. Should be very exciting on water. Cybran much better early on with Tech 2, but of course UEF with Tech 3. That's assuming this game gets this far. But between these two players, I can't imagine them killing each other too quick. But of course at Tech 2, UEF have the Riptide. Extremely powerful Tech 2 tank. So that's I gotta give it to EAF for at least this map. Just a all-out map like this. Of course, shields plus Tech 3 Navy. Unfortunately, lasts forever. 3599. Gotta give it to Cybran. First air from BlackDeath. 3 pigeons, air factory. And of course, there's a lot of mass scattered all over the place, so you can go pretty heavy on power. 2 mass extractors with the ACU. And you gotta expand very quickly here, of course. It's regularly a map for 6 players. 6 equivalent islands and a whole bunch of little islands all over the place. 6 in the middle, you see another. That's another 8. That's a 12 plus 6, 18. Little islands scattered all over the place plus the 6, so 24 islands. See lots of airs coming up from Maverick, and of course on this map, air extremely important. And second air very popular here, with bombers coming out, cutting out any expanding engineers. We see these expanding engineers here from BlackDeath, but so far no bombers from Maverick. He's still working on his air factory. That's getting 2 engineers working on that, and ACU and a big power spam. We should see early teching. Macro is very important on this map. Looks like very early transport for Maverick. That's dangerous to do. He has not scouted, so interceptors over his base would be very devastating right now, but of course they're not going to come. Scouts coming out now for BlackDeath, so a good chance he'll spot that transport. Tech 1 Navy there as well. Navy planned for BlackDeath. We also see now expanding engines for Maverick as well. Here comes this transport. It's going to get a total of 4 engineers. Let's see where that goes. That's a big naval plan now for Maverick. Looks like it's going over to this island. There is already an engineer here. It's going to get that factory. It'll be 1 engineer in a factory versus this drop. Of course, an interceptor here, and a very good placement on the scouts from BlackDeath. Looking exactly for this scenario, and looks like it'll be trouble for this drop. Maverick should just drop these engines off into the water. Is able to do that just in time. Is there a bomber coming? Here's a bomber, so trouble for these engines. They're going to be spread, so single. This is something that can happen if you put your transport really low. It no longer gets shot. This is good. Maverick pulling 1 engineer back. 1 engine killed. 2 more still on the way, but it'll be hard to imagine them doing anything to this island. Elsewhere there's a bomber that just got taken out. Maverick sending a bomber. Would have been nice to pick off that engineer. So far good defense from Maverick, but no raiding, no aggression really for BlackDeath, so these islands are going to be taken by Maverick without too much trouble. And an air fight here, actually, that Maverick has taken. This engineer is going to pick up a free mass extractor. But let's see. This bomber, well, it did have a kill, but didn't get any more. So both players taking their respective expanding islands. This air battle looks like 3 interceptors are going to be thrown away by Maverick. And another bomber gets taken out. 3rd naval factory now coming out for Maverick. Looking at teching, he's got 1 Tech 2 mass extractor, getting yet another one. Taking quite a few mass extractors on the islands. We see the transport for BlackDeath taking these islands. Actually, Maverick taking air control over this island. Not sure what's that's going to get him. Perhaps a little bit of bombing. Early frigate coming out. making its way toward BlackDeath. It's got a Tech 1 naval factory making nothing, and a Tech 2 naval factory. It's about 80% there. Just interceptors, engineers, interceptors, and teching. About to get 3 Tech 2 mask extractors. Very even so far, and a frigate actually from Maverick moving over to this island. Of course, the frigate doesn't have the range to get to the middle of this island, but we'll pick off mass extractors on the edge. It's a bit annoying. And now flak for BlackDeath, which means you don't really want to fly here with Tech 1. Excellent transport here, taking all these islands here on the side. This frigate with 2 kills, putting pressure on BlackDeath. Yeah, these 2 players extremely good. Tech 2 engineers, looks like a Tech 2 land factory, flak, Tech 2 flak. Now Tech 2 power from Maverick. Maverick's still on his main island with the ACU. Usually see people taking the ACU to one of the islands. That's a great frigate, 4 kills now, denying a few mask extractors. Looks like air domination here finally for for Maverick. Still the air domination. And now a submarine. So UEF subs have a cannon on them. If you make them float, but then of course they're pretty vulnerable against other naval ships. Only 600 health. A frigate that has about 2,000 health. Cybran frigates, of course, the best frigates, just in terms of 1v1 battles. And this is all submarines. So BlackDeath, knowing that subs is the way to counter UEF, unless of course UEF goes Tech 2. We do see a Tech 2 factory now coming up from Maverick, and Tech 2 torpedo boats, really good counter to any submarines except Tech 3. And once again, this map would be very good with Seraphim, but neither player has that. I almost got to say UEF or Seraphim. Hard to call which one has the advantage. But this submarine, this is just ridiculous. 6 kills already. That's the 8th kill. Great use of submarines from Maverick and a frigate. Aggressive Tech 1 Navy, but these submarines, this Tech 2 and Tech 1, should solve this problem. Tech 2 gunships coming out now for Maverick, doing a little raiding. The Air Force for BlackDeath, gotta say, it's a little lacking. And with these Tech 2 air, it should be big problems for BlackDeath. That Tech 2 sub here took care of this frigate that was harassing. More Tech 2 submarines and a cruiser. That cruiser could be the key to capture air back for BlackDeath. 9 kill Tech 1 sub, but single volley of torpedoes from this Tech 2 submarine. And this Tech 1 Navy now very much outgunned. Here come the gunships, and we're going to see another air fight with Maverick providing good support for his gunships. See Tech 1 flag coming out, and if Maverick can kill this factory, be big problems for BlackDeath, this factory and these engineers. It will take a little micro to get engineers over there, but a cruiser coming in. Yet another cruiser. And Tech 1 Navy, actually this is a good move, reclaiming this frigate. The frigate dies. Tech 1 torpedo launchers to protect this naval construction. Tech 2 NG helping out as well, a destroyer well on its way. This engineer is very brave here from BlackDeath. Still survived, just walked directly in front of Maverick's base. The destroyer's coming out from Maverick. This is nice to see. Good use of NGs. Maverick upgrading his ACU. And destroyer is out. But of course these submarines are going to be very dominant against the Tech 1 and destroyers as well. These subs are really good when they're together using their torpedo defense. See, the torpedo defense is doing their thing, but even the destroyer for UEF should be able to take it 1v1, but 2v1 it won't be able to. No destroyer and cruisers, and a lot of flak. Single gunships here. Doing good rating, very even map control, but it should be sliding slightly now in Maverick's favor because of these gunships. Still absolutely no problems for Maverick. Had his side bases. He comfortably got his Tech 1 mask extractors, got most of these rocks and trees, got his factories producing units. Of course, 2 kills now for the cruiser. This destroyer making his way all the way around, but it is going to die. A nice Tech 2 Navy here from BlackDeath. And that gunship also is going to die. Some Tech 2 mask extractors here and Tech 2 flak, Tech 2 land, and it appears we're going to see Wagners. I call them Wagners. They can go underwater, so they're the amphibious tank that goes underwater, has very weak torpedoes, but can be very sneaky getting on these islands and causing problems. Riptide is better, even though it's not sneaky, but it's much better. Actually see quite a few of these underwater. Quite quick too. And now we're going to see some of the first problems for Maverick at his bases. Quite a few Riptides here. This is a nice Riptide spam. And now some shields as well. Looks like a Maverick is going to respond with quite a few ships to this Tech 2 Navy, but on the other side another Tech 2, so 2 Tech 2 naval forces from BlackDeath. Maverick running back and forth, not sure what he wants to defend. Of course, with Riptides, with proper micro, Tech 2 Navy should have no problems. See those gunships? Don't even get to shoot. But this island in big trouble. Another Tech 2 naval factory being targeted. Riptides coming out. And these Wangers are going to be big problems for Maverick. Excellent play from Cybran player here, minute 20. Completely turned all this Tech 1 naval, dispatched it, and now putting pressure on Maverick. And here come the Wangers with numbers taking care of the Riptides. Tech 1 point defenses going up. And now Maverick coming in with his Tech 2 Navy with a shield. Doesn't want to lose this factory. 2 subs, a destroyer, a cruiser, and a frigate. And on the other side we see Riptides chasing a Tech 2 Navy. And of course cruisers can't shoot backwards. At least not for Cybran. These are nice Tech 1 point defenses. Tech 2 land factory was destroyed. Looks like Maverick is going to rebuild it, but all the Wangers are now dead. And here in close range, EF definitely has the advantage. Shield is going to be lost, it seems. And a torpedo boat here, good counter to the Tech 2 subs. Now this Navy with huge amounts of kills here. But of course in close range the Riptides should be able to take care of these cruisers. Very even battle. Tech 3 sonar being targeted. So some nice chunks of mass now left over after that attack from BlackDeath. Good defense here on the left side from Maverick, but significant losses. And our second Tech 2 naval force is going to push this recently victorious Navy from Maverick back. There's just a torpedo boat and destroyer here with a bunch of frigates. Full retreat. And these Riptides, we got 5 Riptides moving in, but Tech 1 point defenses from BlackDeath. It's the wrong place to get on this island. Of course, as long as these Riptides avoid Tech 1 point defenses, and actually some bombers there, so very timely bombers from BlackDeath. Big naval force going through the middle. Tech 3 sonar for Maverick. The sonar does have torpedoes for UEF. In terms of teching, we're seeing Tech 2 Air Factory going Tech 3, 4 Tech 2 power generators for Maverick. Tech 3 power, so much power for BlackDeath, and Tech 3 Air actually making Tech 2 gunships. It's a huge advantage in terms of power so far for BlackDeath. BlackDeath has a Tech 3 Air naval factory making Tech 2 submarines, and a Tech 2 naval factory making destroyers. Subs and destroyers, no Tech 1 Navy production at all for BlackDeath. Now bombers countering Riptides. Not a lot of Air Force at all from Maverick. And these wingers in a very bad situation. Underwater against the Tech 2 Navy. They have a very weak DPS. Likely won't get any kills. Tech 2 bombers now going after the Tech 2 land factory. There was some flak here, I believe. Yeah, there's some Tech 2 flak. And Tech 3 Air for BlackDeath together with Tech 2 bombers, trying to stop the Riptide production, but unable to do so. And this is a pretty massive Tech 2 naval force. Not very organized, but looks like Maverick decides to pull back. BlackDeath will follow using its range. If you have a chance to chase somebody with a Cybran Navy, you gotta do it, because when they're chasing, they get the long range on the front cannon. Some reinforcements coming in for Maverick. Surprised I don't see T3 Navy from Maverick yet. And of course cruisers, Tech 3 Air from both players. Pretty big Tech 3 Air spam, now Tech 3 power generators coming in. Does Maverick have resource allocation? No. So if it's a Tech 3 Air competition, it's going to be huge advantage for BlackDeath, actually making Strat bombers. And a pretty big Tech 1 naval spam as well now. Multiple Tech 3 power generators. Wouldn't be surprised to see a nuke here, but looks like Strat bombers is the plan. Of course, Cybran Strat bombers can go stealth, and they have some great targets here. This Tech 3 power generator will be a great target. Of course, this Tech 2 as well. Put this game out of reach for Maverick. These two navies getting quite large for both players here, minute 27. Looking at BlackDeath, he's got plus 10,000 power, plus 186 mass, reclaimed 11,000. Maverick half the power of BlackDeath and a little less mass, but reclaimed about 5,000 extra mass. Now we're going to see Strat bombers against the cruiser. Looks like that Strat bomber did not drop the bomb. It's not going to get a chance. Torpedo bombers coming in. That Strat bomber was a very expensive scout, basically. This cruiser is targeted, but looks like it has survived. And against the cruiser, you don't get two passes. And here it looks like huge numbers for Maverick. A lot of Tech 2, not enough Tech 1 for BlackDeath, but it should still be very close. Quite a few destroyers. Reinforcements coming in from Maverick as well here from the left side. And if BlackDeath retreats, he's in danger of losing his island here. A lot of Tech 2 mass extractors, but it looks like he comes back, and this is a really good move for Cybran. A mistake from Maverick. He should have kept chasing. And at range, BlackDeath is going to get a lot of shots in against these Riptides. The Riptides should just get on the island and kill things. Tech 1 point defense is going up. And an attack directly on BlackDeath's production. A lot more Tech 1 naval factories just built by BlackDeath. More destroyers coming in. Tech 2 torpedo launchers being made. Tech 2 flak. And perhaps a mistake here from Maverick. If he just kept his entire navy together, be in much better shape, but splitting it up, not really having success on either front, and did get a few kills against mass extractors, but left a lot of wrecks. This is a very formidable force now from BlackDeath. and successful defense of the naval production. Big losses for Maverick. Maverick still trying to do damage with Riptides. And that was a very, very big loss there for Maverick. Maverick, does he have Tech 3 Navy? It looks like he's going Tech 3. He does have resource allocation on the ACU, so catching up in terms of power. Getting another Tech 3 power generator. Pretty good ASF spam. Looking at BlackDeath. Not too much power after he got those 2 Tech 2 power generators. No resource allocation, so power is actually quite even now. But in terms of Navy, this naval force is huge. Big problems for Maverick. This island is in danger now. Tech 2 Tech 2 land has been rebuilt. More Riptides coming out, as well as Tech 2 flak. Of course, Cybran, very long range on these destroyers. Can easily reach any of these units. And Riptides coming in one by one, getting slaughtered. And a Tech 3 Air Force looks like it is a little bigger for BlackDeath, although, yeah, it's definitely bigger for BlackDeath. Anti-nuke is also planned for Maverick. Now, whatever Navy Maverick has is coming in to defend his island. And looks like these 2 destroyers got lost there. Should be destroyed. Wanger's getting onto this island once again. Some Tech 1 point defenses. And ASF providing reconnaissance for BlackDeath. And on the other side, BlackDeath always attacking in multiple spots here against Maverick. Both islands for Maverick in huge trouble. And this Tech 2 naval is just making short work of anything that's on this island. Maverick coming in one by one is going to suffer yet another naval loss. And in danger of losing his other expansion. So Maverick, living off his main base, gets a battle cruiser. And of course now at Tech 3, EF Navy might have a chance. Nuke has been started now by BlackDeath here, minute 34. With this type of power, definitely can do that. And so much Tech 1 submarines and frigates now coming out for BlackDeath, and destroyers. Multiple Tech 3 naval factories from BlackDeath. Not sure if I agree with that, but that's what he did. And now an experimental aircraft carrier. This is an excellent submarine. And a battle cruiser here versus multiple destroyers. Should be able to make short work of them. Surprised these units are not shooting now. They finally are. It'd be nice wrecks for Maverick to reclaim. Complete loss of his expansion islands. Well, surprised if some engineers were kept alive. Of course, this battle cruiser, 4 kills, 4 big kills. And let's see if Maverick can make the use of Tech 3 EF Navy to get back into this game. Otherwise, he's got big problems. A lot of Tech to mask structures on these expansions for BlackDeath. Let's see, nuke about a quarter of the way done. More engineers coming down. Not too much build capacity on that ASF. Quite a bit on these destroyers. This other naval force is moving in, taking care of Tech 2 mask extractors. And this right here will be a great target. This anti-nuke plus these 2 Tech 3 power generators. Actually, it'd be probably nice to come in and snipe those with some Tech 2 bombers or Strat bombers, of course. Stealth for Cybran can make that happen very easily. Torpedo bombers coming out for Maverick. And once again, the battle cruisers negate the Cybran rage advantage and more damage per second and much more health. And this Tech 2 destroyer, which just looks so good at the Tech 2 stage, no chance. ASF coming in, but changes its mind, returns. And once this sub gets finished, it's also going to be very nice, very balanced force from UEF. And this force here, a lot of Tech 1 submarines should retreat and think twice. A total loss here for Maverick on both of his expansions. Finally, Wanger's killing off a few of those Tech 1 engineers that weren't killed right away. Minute 38, the nuke has been finished. It's the missile's already on its way. Anti-nuke for Maverick. He's got to get on that right away if he has any hope of not losing his main base. A lot of Tech 3 mass structures, still very good eco, but he's got a scout. I haven't seen him scout this base, and this nuke is going to really surprise him. Battleships for BlackDeath. Another battleship coming out for BlackDeath. And Maverick really needs to get that anti-nuke going, otherwise this game will be over in less than 5 minutes. Maverick playing good defense with Tech 3 in a SF battle that BlackDeath is going to win. And if he loses air, it means that there isn't much of a chance of him scouting, but he's got to be anticipating a nuke. Now the question is if BlackDeath is stalling on his mass. He is, which means that nuke is not going to be built very quickly. In this situation, given now he knows everything about Maverick's base, he's just got to pause everything and rush the nuke. I know a lot of build capacity going over for Maverick. I'm not really sure if he scouted or not, but you don't really need to scout in this case to know that there's going to be a nuke coming. Of course, this aircraft carrier, this sub, when it's on top of the water, it does have pretty good anti-air. And we got to see Maverick take this force and just take it directly to BlackDeath. Couple battle cruisers moving down the left side. No air protection except for one cruiser here, so a little dangerous from Maverick. The main force still sitting back at base. And more battle cruisers coming out from Maverick. Another submarine. The anti-nuke nearly finished. Here, minute 42. The nuke, yes. So looks like BlackDeath has lost his chance unless he decides to snipe that anti-nuke. It's a little too much build capacity on the Navy. Nuke halfway done, but an anti-nuke he can get finished quite quickly, unless Maverick himself is stalling, which he is. He's got to correct that mistake. Battle cruiser is not that good in terms of torpedoes. Facing a couple Tech 2 submarines, actually one Tech 2 and a couple Tech 1s. And now torpedo bombers going against an unprotected battle cruiser. And here comes the submarine with good anti-air. Yeah, Maverick stalling too much on his eco is in danger here. He's not getting that anti-nuke built very quickly. And the nuke is about 3/4 of the way done now for BlackDeath. More battle cruisers. Maverick needs to pause everything. This is an important battle. Should be won by this massive Tech 3 naval from UEF, however. But this could just be BlackDeath making sure that Maverick doesn't stop naval production. I'm curious to see what Maverick will say when he gets nuked. It doesn't look like there's really a chance for him now. Once again, BlackDeath attacking from two different directions, and he's always had the better force here on the left side. And once again, this aircraft carrier needs to get underwater. Getting hit by by bombers. You can get that built very quickly if you're not stalling. Actually, this battleship is in this Navy for BlackDeath. That might give him a chance. So many battle cruisers. Maybe the only problem is there is not enough torpedo boats in this force for Maverick. But took care of that battleship. Now some air versus battleships on the other side for Maverick. This nuke is nearly finished. It doesn't look like Maverick has actually ever scouted the nuke, so he's not realizing how important his anti-nuke is. And the battle cruiser is winning the battle. No shields, no. No torpedo boats. So if Maverick had that anti-nuke right now, big problems for BlackDeath. It looks like BlackDeath also stalling quite a bit in terms of his eco. Yeah, at minus 200 like that, it'll take a long time to finish the nuke. Very timely scout. But of course now BlackDeath is going to see the anti-nuke and he might hesitate shooting, which might give Maverick a little more time. Battleship nearly finished in terms of dying. And these are nice Harms Tech 3 and torpedo launchers for BlackDeath directly in the middle. So BlackDeath might now be, instead of just shooting the nuke, as he put so much eco into it, now it is loaded, he can win the game. He might be thinking about making some bombers to take that out before he launches the nuke. Really, in this case, you just gotta launch it and go for it. And he is gonna launch it now. And that is going to be game. And Maverick, of course, is not even gonna wait. Anti-nuke halfway done. And this game over, minute 51 via the nuke. But really, this Tech 3 Navy would have won it for Maverick, I'm pretty sure. Hope people enjoyed this one.